Some legendary United players fly under the radar, winning 17 major trophies, playing well over 450 matches for the club and being respected by fans and peers alike. Michael Carrick is one such legend. A technically gifted and skillful midfielder who, if it hadn't been during the era of England's so-called golden generation, could have earned twice as many caps as he did. So let's honour him now, a United legend, and raise our glasses to Michael Carrick. Michael Adrian Carrick was born on the 28th of July 1981 in Wallsend, Tyne and Wear, and started playing the beautiful game at an early age, attending the Wallsend Boys Club. By the age of 9, the Magpies supporters' talents were so precocious they had already had trials with Middlesbrough, Stoke, Arsenal, Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Whilst playing for North Tyneside schools, he'd already earned a cap for the England boys side too. Carrick was part of the West Ham golden generation that included the likes of future teammate Rio Ferdinand as well as Joe Cole, Frank Lampard, Jermaine Defoe and Glenn Johnson. The midfielder scored twice in their two-legged 9-0 demolition of Coventry City in 1999 to claim the FA Youth Cup. Just days short of his 18th birthday, the young hammer made his debut in the UEFA Intertoto Cup match at Finnish side Jokerit. He and West Ham would go on to lift the trophy that year. Michael would stay at the Boleyn Ground until 2004, even spending a year in the second tier, following the club's relegation. However, the Hammers promotion push campaign fell short. Someone with the quality of Michael Carrick needed to have top-flight football, and Spurs came calling in the summer of 2004 with an uncharacteristically shrewd piece of business, snagging the 23-year-old for just £3.5 million. In the early days, Carrick didn't get many opportunities to play by manager Jacques Santini. The Geordie only got his first start once Santini had been replaced by Martin Jol in early November. Continuing to impress over the best part of the next 2 seasons, Sir Alex Ferguson was now on the hunt for a quality replacement for club skipper Roy Keane, who had just left Old Trafford, and Carrick was his number one choice. After long, hard negotiations, United finally agreed to pay Spurs £40 million, rising to £18.6 million for performance-related add-ons. The new boy replaced Keano on the pitch and took his now famous number 16 shirt. Michael Carrick was a deep-line playmaker with exceptional passing and positional awareness, although he could competently play centre-back when called upon. Held by his 6'2" frame, he was able to read the game expertly, one of the best ever exponents of this trait to grace the Old Trafford turf, and relied on his vision, wide range of accurate passing and playmaking skills. He attacked space and as a result was brilliant at intercepting opposition passes and breaking down their play. He wasn't a great goal scorer from his position, but he was key to starting many of United's attacking moves, and the goals that he did score were usually top draw, arriving late on the scene and often finishing from the edge of the area. He's lauded by his former teammates and other players of that era he competed against because of these sublime abilities. Michael Carrick was the unfussy linchpin at the heart of some great United teams. The Geordie made his Red Devils debut on the 23rd of August 2006, coming on as a sub in a 3-0 win at Charlton. A few days later he made his first start in a 2-1 victory at Watford. As just mentioned, Michael was not known for his goal scoring, especially due to the position and role he undertook on the field, and that's what could explain why it took him till January 2007 in a 3-1 win over Villa at Old Trafford till he got himself on the score sheet. However, in just his first season he helped United regain the Premier League title for the first time in 3 years, ringing in a new era for the club. The following campaign, 07-08, would be Carrick's most successful at United. Not in terms of goals, he only scored 3, and had a couple of medium-term layoffs through injury, but his contribution was such that not only did it help retain the league for United, but he also earned himself a new 4-year contract, which would keep him at Old Trafford till at least 2012. This was signed 4 days before the Champions League final against Chelsea, who he'd just pipped to the title on the last day. Carrick started the 2008 Champions League final, and after the game had ended up 1-1 after 120 minutes, scored the second United penalty in the victorious shootout over the Blues. The following season saw him suffer with injuries for much of the beginning of the campaign, before he could make a meaningful contribution to United's 3rd title in a row. The next season was the first for the Geordie when he didn't receive a Premier League title winners' medal, as it was our turn to be edged out of the title by Chelsea. Michael wouldn't finish the season empty-handed, picking up a First League Cup winners' medal in a 2-1 win over Aston Villa as United retained the trophy. The remaining years under Fergie were prosperous, and Carrick managed to pick up a further 2 Premier League titles and 2 Community Shields. However, everything was about to change with a managerial GOAT's retirement, along with behind-the-scenes fixer supreme David Gill. This would lead to a number of years of club instability, which would continue past the midfielder's retirement. Michael Carrick made his debut for England as a sub, coming on for David Beckham against Mexico in a 4-0 friendly win in 2001. This was quickly followed up by his first start for the Three Lions in the 2-1 triumph over the United States. However, he very much found himself in the international wilderness after that, not playing for his country until 2005. It's shocking that Carrick would be overlooked so often by a succession of England managers, only accruing 34 caps over a 15-year period. Competition, especially in the mid-90s from the likes of Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard and Hargreaves, saw him relegated to the role of a bit part player for his country. Though he was included in 2 World Cup squads in 2006 and 2010, but hardly featured and refused to be a standby option when Roy Hodgson left him out of his final squad for the 2012 Euros. Michael Carrick made his last appearance for England on the 14th of November 2015, going off injured in a 2-0 defeat to Spain. After such a rich club career with United, this relatively mediocre international career must be his biggest professional disappointment. Post-Fergie, football wasn't only tough for the 32-year-old Carrick under the new regime of David Moyes, but also that he was getting injured with growing frequency as the years passed. With Moyes lasting just a year, new Reds boss Louis van Gaal came in and made the Geordie club vice-captain in December 2014. In May 2016, Carrick helped United win the club's first meaningful trophy since Fergie's departure, as he got his hands on the FA Cup for the first time in his career after a 2-1 victory over Crystal Palace. The following season, now under Van Gaal's replacement, Jose Mourinho lauded Carrick's contribution, and they would go on to win the Community Shield, League Cup and UEFA Europa League together in that season, albeit he was on the bench for the latter 2 matches. Mourinho made Michael Carrick club captain after Wayne Rooney's departure to Everton in July 2017. With game time becoming more and more infrequent due to the injuries in just months before his 37th birthday, Michael Carrick retired on the last day of the 2017-18 season against Watford, and as a farewell assisted Marcus Rashford for the only goal of the game. The Geordie, who followed in the footsteps of former United captains Charlie Roberts, Sir Bobby Charlton and Brian Robson, as well as other great players from the North East for United, finished his Old Trafford career with 464 matches and 24 goals to his name. He also picked up 5 Premier Leagues, an FA Cup, 2 League Cups, 6 Community Shields, a Champions League, a Europa League and a FIFA World Club Cup. He also made the FA Premier League Team of the Year twice and was United's Players' Player of the Year for the 2012-13 campaign. Retiring from playing, Michael remained at the club in a coaching role under Jose Mourinho. On the Portuguese's dismissal, he became caretaker manager for the first time, until Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival as interim and then permanent manager. The Norwegian retained his coaching services for the next 2.5 years. In turn, Carrick took over from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's caretaker manager for a second time after the Norwegian left the club. Knowing the players well from his previous role, he managed to take United into the knockout stages of the Champions League against the odds and got a very credible win over Arsenal, 3-2 in his final game in charge on the 2nd of December, before Ralf Rangnick stepped in for the rest of the season. After taking a break from football, Michael answered the call from Middlesbrough to become their new manager on the 24th of October 2022. Borough was struggling in 21st position at the time. As I'm recording this, the North East club are now remarkably sitting in 3rd spot in the Championship, now short of a playoff place. It looks like the Geordie boy with a red heart has a very promising managerial career ahead of him. So what do you think of United's legend Michael Carrick? What did he mean to you during his time at Old Trafford? Let us know in the comments below and like, share and subscribe. Thank you as always for your support.